Nothing, nothing. There it is. 2008 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 GSR. This one has been tastefully modded by the owner Frank for track duty, and we're powered by, of course, the 4B11, not the 4G63. This is a 2-liter turbo inline-4 making 291 horsepower at 6,500 RPM, 300 pound-feet at 4,000 RPM. However, Frank has done quite a few mods, so now he's actually pushing 400 horsepower to the wheels. And we also have a raised redline to 8,000. Stock, it's about 7,200. And there are a few more things you need to know about the engine, but we'll get to that shortly. With the GSR, you only get the 5-speed manual transmission. If you want to have a 6-speed auto, that's only on the MR. Mitsubishi's all-wheel drive system, they call the SAWC, the Super All-Wheel Control System. The car's weighing in a little bit over 3,500 pounds with a wheelbase of 104 inches. We have strut front, multi-link rear with hydraulic power steering. In terms of mods, full mod list as always down in the description. We have JRZ RS Pro 3-way coilovers, AP Racing Radical Big Brake Kit with Ferodo DS 3.12 front and raybestos ST43 in the rear, Sparco Grid Q seats, full bolt-ons with the MHI, that's the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries 18K Turbo, and I said 400 horsepower. It actually will do up to 440 on E85. We have a short shift kit, GTC 300 wing, Voke CE28 Club Racer Black Editions 18 by 9.5 with a 265 section with RE71 RS rubber. A few other mods which you can find down in the description. Oh, there it is. Once you get it past that boost threshold, this thing just wakes up like none other. Wow. So the initial boost threshold OEM is something like 32 to 3,300 RPM. Now with the tune and the mods, we're looking at a boost threshold now around 37, which, you know, you're losing out on a bit of RPM. However, he's also raised the redline by about 800 from 7,200 to 8,000 RPM. OEM, the peak power was around, I believe, 6,800, but now I think it was saying with the tune, it was something like peak power around 74, 7,500 RPM. So it's not like you're just dying off near redline. And you love that, right? Because a lot of these turbo engines, they do die off too close to redline, but not here. It's no 4G63, but this 4B11 is still a plenty characterful little 2-liter turbocharged inline 4. Wow. When you heel toe, that one was fine because the revs were spooled up. I've learned though, at the lower RPMs, when you're not fully spooled or when you have some more lag, you gotta be mindful to jab that throttle extra hard. Front end is feeling incredibly sharp. Very pointy and precise without being overly darty, because the steering ratios back, 2008, they were much more moderate than what we have today. Now, of course, the Evo, they have this trick all-wheel drive system with the active center differential, the ACD, and at the rear axle you have AYC, active yaw control, so they can really help you rotate the car by sending more torque to the outer wheel when you're cornering. Now, the other Evo I've reviewed on the channel before, that one was not so much of a track build, and it had far lower limits, so you were actually able to get a bit more play and rotation, and also just the road I was reviewing it on had some tighter segments. This car is just feeling so planted. Just like right there, I had to blip that throttle extra hard to match it properly. Steering here actually has a good amount of road texture, which I like. It is a little bit on the light side. Ratio is slightly on the slow side as well, but it's so precise. Ergonomics here, I'm not sure if you guys can tell from the camera, but my arms are almost fully straightened out because the steering wheel doesn't telescope in these Evos. So also with the bucket, it's kind of tilted back my legs are squished, my arms are fully out, stretched out in front, but depending on your body build, that may just be fine for you. Man, the level of power though is more than adequate. Brakes are feeling real good. Nice, firm pedal. Initial bite isn't overly grabby, but once you get into it, you really have that confidence, and it really listens to you. Every little small correction you do on the brake pedals, every small adjustment. This is a car you can tell on track will give you tons of confidence, as it already does here in the canyons. It's one of those turbocharged engines that really rewards you as you rev it out. You don't have to just play with low to mid-range torque. You can just, it still has more than enough torque as well, but as you rev it out, it just encourages you to do more and more, with peak power occurring so high. I love it. I absolutely love it. See, like right there, I under-blipped the rev match, but I was also at like 3,000 RPM, well below the boost threshold. So I gotta say, really awesome car. The suspension, I'm kind of like, it's good. It's very good. I think that it may need some small adjustments, because over some segments I'm feeling extra bounce, and I'm like, maybe this is a little bit underdamped. Whereas in other segments, the initial impact feels a bit harsher than I'm expecting. Actually, I wish this road was bumpier, because most of this road is just so smooth. There's only one or two noticeable bumps. So it's feeling good, and with JRZ 3-ways, you can really adjust every little detail, right? And with JRZ 3-ways, you can really fine-tune it, right? Your high speed and low speed, your rebound. So you can really dial it in to feel exactly the way you want. This car is really well sorted. It's funny, the owner, Frank, got this car. He's the only owner, 2008, right? For 12 years, he kept it stock, and then 2020 during COVID, he's like, all right, time to mod. Which is kind of like me with my FRS, which I got in 2013, and I also only started modding in 2020. You know, back in the day when I was religiously reading Car and Driver magazines, I remember every couple years seeing a new Evo versus STI battle, and they would trade blows. And I didn't really know which one I liked more, but I would kind of lean STI, because, you know, you saw more of them around the neighborhood, and I thought they looked really cool back then. But now that I'm doing this car channel and reviewing multiple examples of STI, multiple examples of Evo, I gotta say, man, the Evo speaks to me more. It's a little bit more hardcore, razor edge, a bit more exciting to drive on average. There's more emotionality to it. Whereas I feel like the STI might be a little more tame, a little more daily driver friendly, a little more approachable, and I just love the excitement of the Evo. Obviously, the way you modify a car will heavily influence the character, but even across the modded examples that I'm thinking of, it still seems to be a common trend. Getting a lot of that lateral support from these buckets, nice and comfy. Just wish I wasn't so stretched out is all. Can never quite get the exact seating position I want in sedans. It's more often in dedicated sports cars where you can really get your feet further out. You're sitting a little bit lower and leaned back a bit. Over here, you're very upright. But excellent body control with these coilovers. And that's the beautiful thing, when you can really dial in your low speed and your high speed compression. You can get good body control, good immediacy with your inputs, and then still absorb the impacts, the high speed bumps. And let's give you a pull in the tunnel. Nothing, nothing. There it is. This what the GR Corolla wishes it could be, because the GR Corolla, they developed that car around the ethos of stability, so you have so much confidence when you're pushing the car. And I think they actually have very similar wheelbases, around 100 and a little bit over 100 inches. But when you get behind the wheel of this, I mean, obviously this is modified, apples to oranges, I get it, but you have so much stability and confidence with this car, with this modded example of the Evo 10. But you also have so much more theater and feel and feedback and communication through not only the chassis, but also the steering wheel. Does a 5-speed manual transmission feel a bit dated even in 2008? Sure. Is the interior not quite as nice as the equivalent STI? Sure. But those are all small prices I would be very much willing to pay for the level of driver involvement, engagement, and just fun behind the wheel of an Evo 10. I just love these cars, man. This is rally car done right. And, you know, it is a different ethos and philosophy compared to other manufacturers. Like, the STI has the DCCD, the driver-controlled center differential. This one, they say, you know what, we're not going to let the user really control all that. We're just going to have 3 settings here of snow, gravel, tarmac. Obviously, we're just keeping it in tarmac here. And there you have it, the Evo 10 GSR, modded by Frank, the owner. I think he's done an awesome job. This is a lot of fun. Let me know what you think with a comment down below. And if you want your car reviewed, visit us on Jabal and Cars. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in that next one.